Okay, so, oh, where am I? Oh, oh. Okay, so here we are. It is it's October 30th, and I'm going to switch over to sharing my screen here. So I'm going to go like this and like that. And here we go. All right. And I got to figure out how to get rid of this, but right now I'm going to put it over here. And I'm going to put this down. All right, so we are ITS 128, 10:30, day before Halloween. And so today is the last day of chapter 6, which is modularization, making methods, code that you repeat. You put it in a method. You make a method, and so you write the code only once, and then from then on, you just call the method instead of copying and pasting code. All right, so what I'm going to do today, I want to draw your attention to the videos, and so the video I did yesterday was methods assignment 8 ListBox. Today's the 30th. That should have been the 29th. Where is the 29th? Well, I gotta go to YouTube. And go to shoot, I'm not signed in. I don't want to sign in. Let's see, Richard Halverson, ITS 128. How's that? Okay, here we go. This one. Right, this one. So this is the video I want to be shared. All right, today is October 29th, ITS 128. Would you like me to put my screen on your screen? You can go watch this sometime. But right now I'm going to put it here. ITS 128 class. I think it's like class 20 or something. October 29, 2018. And I showed you how to delete name from ListBox. Okay, so that's a pretty good one to look at. And so I can just, okay, so what I can do today is I will pull up what I did the last time I was here, which was not putting a duplicate name in. You look to see if the friend is already in there, and if it is, you say no, the friend's already in there. So that's what I did last time in this class, I'm quite sure. And so but what I haven't shown anybody is an easy way to make methods out of code that you want to duplicate. So I can do that, and I think I might as well throw in. I'll throw in some other tweaks. You should maybe scan this video. However, there's a lot of dead time, so maybe you put it on and then do some other homework, and then when I start talking again, it's a video that I really should have edited, but I just didn't. I'd rather put it up there quickly. So anyway, let me just what was the last? So what's the assignment we're working on right now? I think we're working on assignment 9. Delete the name. Delete a name. Okay, so that's assignment 9. So I'm going to go back to resources and make this be assignment 9. How to do that? Just so you kind of have a good idea what I'm doing there. Okay, so let me go to my Dropbox, And I have the last thing I did in this class, which was like the 25th, this one, friend file with ListBox. Okay, so let's start with that. I'm going to go into desktop, put this on my desktop. And here I am. Here it is. I'm going to right click. I'm going to extract all, but I'm going to not show the extracted files when I'm complete because I don't want to be confused. Okay, there we go. So this is the directory it just created. This is the unzipped version of this. So I don't need this anymore. I'm just going to throw it away. And go in here, and oh, look, here is my, this here is what I want to actually save. This is the package. This is the package. Within the package, we've got this directory of stuff, and we've got this .sln file. So we want to make sure we get both those things. So we go out to here, and this is the thing that we want. Now, if I recall, if I put this out here, something disappears. I guess not. Okay, yes, okay. So I'm going to throw this away because there's probably nothing in here anymore. So I just throw that away. Okay, so here it is. This is what I finished with last time. So I'm going to open it up, double click on that. This one's fine. And got to sign in probably. Sign in. Okay, sign in. We're here. I don't know if the others. I should try to figure that out, I suppose. I wonder if I get more stuff if I use the one that they set up for me. All right. Okay, so this is what it looked like before. Let's look at this. And I'm going to make some other adjustments. All right, so let me first go down in here. Okay, so bin, debug. Okay, these are the two I've been working on. But let's say I wanted to create a new one from scratch. So what if I type in friends3.txt right here? Wait, is that going to work? Yeah, try this. It worked. How could it have worked? Okay. Oh, why is it running? Oh. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so now let me try to type some. Oh, there's no. Okay. Joe Smith. Okay, could not find file. Friend, but I'm trying to start a new one. Okay, but it says this, and it won't let me do it. Okay. The problem is I'm not doing it right. Okay. This only works if I'm doing an existing file. See, this works fine because the first thing it tries to do is open the file. The first thing it tries to do is it opens the file, and if it's not, so if it's not there, you can't open it, and we get an error. So how do we fix? So I want to fix that. So here's how I fix that. I'm going to go ahead and try to open it. Okay, and if I can't open it, if I cannot open it, okay, here's where I try to open it, right? Because it's in the form load, right? It happens when you start the program up, and when you start the program up, this method here executes form one load, and it starts to execute. And the first thing it does is it asks you for the file name, and then it tries to open up the file to read it, because if there's names in there, you know, we want to populate the list box. So, excuse me, let me take off my outer garment. remove my outer layer. All right. Okay, so when that happens, where does it cause the exception? All right, well, this causes an exception because it cannot, I guess when he writes to the file, where does it write? No, this is where it opens it, because it tries to open it, and it cannot open. Okay, so I know what happened. With this code, when this doesn't work, it catches it, but it doesn't do anything. So first I'm gonna put a message here to make sure that when this thing doesn't work, because see, this thing didn't work, and then it wasn't until we actually tried to write to it where we got another error, because this error was caught. And when the error was caught, we didn't say anything. We just kept our message box shut. And so let's put something there, message box show the open the file open text. I'm gonna get fancy here. Parentheses plus file name plus quote and parentheses failed. Okay, so it's going to display out this message. When I try to open it, right in the beginning, it's going to be, so let's do this, see if this works. Okay, I do that, so I'm going to type in a new one. I'll start over friends3.txt, and it goes, boom. The file .open text .c users open desktop friend file bin debug friends.txt3 failed. It should have been in quotes. Anyway, so that's the exception. Okay, so it caught it, but then it went through, and then we get another exception when we actually try to write to it. So what I'm going to do instead of this, I'm gonna open it up. Okay, so once I get to this point, we know the file doesn't exist. Well, let's make the file exist, okay? So let's make the file exist. How do we make the file exist? Let's go up here and let's find some code where we want to write to it. Here it is, this code here. This opens it up, you know, writes it to it and closes it again. Well, I'm just gonna get rid of these comments because they're confusing at the moment. Yeah. Does that? Oh shoot! I deleted something I didn't mean to delete, didn't I? There. So let me get rid of this. And so we open the file, but let's not. Okay, so we declare a new stream writer variable called open file, and then we use that to open up a file, and we're going to do create text because it's fine to do create text, and this creates the file. We don't need to write to it. We're not going to write anything to it because we got nothing to write to it, but we do want to close it because we want to be able to open it again later. Okay, so so this is what happens. It actually just creates the file, and we don't need the message box anymore. I'm just going to take that out, and so now it should work. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's make it. I will create one. There. Now let's run this, and it asks for a file, and I say friends3.txt, and it goes. This is terrible. It says file this failed. I will create one. By the way, so it hasn't created yet because it's still displaying the message box, right? Hasn't created it yet. So let's go in here and watch it be created. It's going to be created right down here. There's nothing there yet. Okay. So now let's move this over here and let's go, okay. Okay. There we go. There it is. Boom. All right. All right. So now, okay, so that works. The other thing I want to do is, okay, here's another thing I want to do. Let's run it again. I'm going to make this smaller so there's a chance or a possibility that we can actually see stuff when it's happening. All right, so I'm going to run this again. All right, I want to just make that louder just for a second here. I want to open this up and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to use the one I just made. Oh, boy. So I don't need to hear that big blip every time. Yeah, so here's what I'm going to do. Let's see, I did this morning. Let's hope I can remember how I did it. I'll go here. And we're using this dialog box here, aren't we? So go to that dialog box. Let's make these properties, I'll just make them bigger. And dialog box properties, overwrite prompt. Let's not bother with the overwrite prompt because, you know, we pick it and we don't need to say, are you sure you want to pick this file? Let's just not make this false. Okay, so now when I run it, it asks me, I'm going to do this one. All right, okay. All right, so let's try to add some friends. This is where it is here. Somebody. Joe Schmo. Okay, so I got some names here, and we can. Okay, oh, I was going to test. Okay, so we see. Let's try to add this guy again, and it says, okay. So let's quickly add a button here to let's add a button to delete. Let's just do that, and I'm going to do it differently than I did it yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to do the. Yesterday I did it, but I didn't make any procedures. I didn't show that part. This time I'm going to show that part. All right, so so let's go to the code. What time is it? 11:13. This goes till class goes till noon. So let me view the code. And all right, so first of all, I got to put a button. Let me put a button. Button. Put a button. All right, common controls button. And this button is going to say delete, unfriend. How's that? Unfriend. This fiend. I don't know, just being stupid. All right, so there's the button, and I'm going to name the button btn unfriend. Unfriend. Okay, so we got a button there, and so this thing's going to be filled with names. So it's going to be like, you know, filled with names, and you want to go. I want to unfriend Carl, so I click this, and the Carl's Chang disappears. Okay, So how do we do that? Let's think about a strategy first for doing this. All right. So remember, the computer is really fast. So we can do a really dumb roundabout way that do it the way, knowing just what we know now. And so here's how I'm going to do it. First of all, I'm going to figure out which name was selected. So, and we do that by figuring out what the what the index is. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that, okay? So 0, 1, 2, let's 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. Let's delete index number 3 because we know that Joe Schmo is a made-up name. So we're going to delete index number 3. So first thing we're do is we ask what the index number is of the selected one. That's index number 3. And then what we're going to do is we're going to write this whole list back out again. We're going to erase the file that's there. We're going to write the whole list back out again. But when we write it back out again, we're going to skip index number 3. So we'll just go bump, 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 skip, bump, bump, boom. And then when we're done writing the file contains the new list that we want. Okay? The problem is this list box still contains the old way. Okay, so what's the simplest way to do it? Let's just clear out the list box and reload it again, just like we did when we started up the program. That's what we did when we started up the program. The list box came to us empty, and we just loaded it up from the file. And so we already know how to do that. In fact, we already have code that does that. So let's reuse that code. Let's make a method out of that code and call that method again after we've, used the list box to write out the new file, and then we're gonna clear out the list box. We're gonna erase the list box, and then we'll use that code, that method, to repopulate the list box from the file. All right, so that's how we're gonna do it. So let's exit out of here. Let's go try to start doing that now. First of all, okay, so it's going to be when we click this button. So I'm going to double click on the button to create a new event handler for when you click on the button. There it is, button unfriend click. And so the first thing is let's grab out what the well, first let's see. I think I can grab out the name string. Name. Let's just check the name to make sure we got the name right. Name to delete equals LST list friends dot selected index. No, selected item dot toString. I think that does it. Let's see. Message box dot show name to delete. Let's just see what if that's right. So let's just try it. Go. Wow, this one. Here we are. Click this one. No, Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo. So that worked. So we're selecting the right one, but we don't want the name to delete. We want the actual index because we could use the name, but let's just do the index. It's easier. So I'm going to do int index to delete equals LST friends dot selected index. I don't think I needed to anything for that. Okay, now I got the number. Let's just confirm that. This is what's nice about programming is that you can put in these little confirmation things all along the way, and it just gives you encouragement. It knows that up to that point everything works. If you put in a bunch of additions and then you test it, then it doesn't work. It's like, whoa, okay, I got all this stuff I put in. What did I do wrong? So I'm gonna do which is index plus index to delete. Okay, let's see what this does. Let's do this one. Dot, dot, dot. Joe Schmo, which is index 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yes, that's right. Okay, good. All right. So I got the index to complete. Now I'm going to rewrite the file. I got them all in the ListBox. I'm going to rewrite the file out again. And so I got to open the file. I got to open to rewrite. Okay, so I just got. Okay, let's start with this code. Well, let's just start with all this code right here. I'm not going to make a method out of this because I'm gonna put some code in the middle there. So I'm going to use that code, and I'm going to put something right there. And what I'm going to put here is a loop, a while loop. We don't know about arrays yet. When we get to arrays, we're going to realize it's a nice, handier way of doing it. But right now, all we have is this ListBox, and we can iterate through the ListBox. So I'm going to say, so I just created this new file. The old file's gone now. Create a new file, open it up, ready to write. Say, ListBox, int, I'm going to do selected index. Index. Index equals 0. While index is less than LST friends dot items dot count. That's the number of in there. While the index is less than, do some stuff. And what we're going to do is all right. So now I can do if index is not equal to index to delete. If it's not equal to that, then output file, write line, parentheses, list friends dot selected item, and it's apparently not a string. It's probably some sort of object, something or other. So we got to do toString. Do that. So this thing loops, and as long as this, oh, oops, forgot that, gotta do that. Otherwise, it's just gonna keep on writing the same thing forever. And the file will reach some limit, and the thing will stop saying use too many resources. I don't want to try it. You can try it at home. All right, so this thing loops, and wait a second. All right, okay, so let's try this and see if it works. And then if not, and then after that, I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna try to put a plus plus right there. I think I can put a plus plus right there, and that'll work. But let's try it, see if this works. Okay, so this loops. Oh, and then it closes it. All right. So let's see if this part works. So let me go start, and let's do this one. And it looks like this, which matches this. Let's look at it. Here's what this looks like. No, someday I will, I suppose. So we have this file here, and so now let's delete Joe Schmo. Bump, bump. Yes. Okay. Didn't do anything here, but if we click on this to see and then it realizes this. Okay, it says, oh, it's changed. Yeah, let's do it, and we see. Oh, we did just the wrong thing, didn't we? There's a bug in our program. It wrote Joe Schmo. It's not letting me unfriend him. In fact, it's telling me F you. All right, so let's fix that. Ooh, I lost all my names. I lost all my names. Oh, shoots. Oh, gosh. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to really quickly recover them. Frank Smith, Lisa Stewart. Doesn't matter. Aaron Maritsky. I know that's how you spell her name. Yeah, that's how you spell it. Joe Schmo. All right, I'll put Joe Schmo back. Kevin Conway. Jim Scott. All right, so I fixed the names. I got to quit this right now. Okay, so let me save this. Thank you. So if it's not equal, then it writes it. Okay, so I'm doing something. Oh, I know it's wrong. The selected item is still the selected item from back here. It looks like I got to change the select. Yeah, all right. I think I got to do it this way. First of all, can't get away with being like that. I got to close this up, and I got to write this. I got to write a new selected index. Selected index. List friends dot selected index. It's a property, so I can equals index. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't need to be outside the loop. It can be inside the loop. So if it checks to see if index is not equal to the index to delete. If it's not equal to the index to delete, then it can go ahead and write it out. So the way it writes it out is it first sets selected index to what the index was. That positions it to this one, to the one to write out, and then it writes it out. So now it should work. So let's try this. This one. There they all are. Here they all are. Delete Joe Schmo, unfriend Joe Schmo, and refresh this. Yes. And now Joe Schmo's gone, but everybody else is still there. Okay. But we still need to refresh this thing to see that it worked. So let's close this, exit, and let's put that in there. Let's see. So right down here, I want to do what I did when I opened it up, and that was this thing here. This is what I want to, as they say, refactor. Refactor. So it's a new word. So that's the code I want to repeat. I want to methodologize that code. No, it's not really a word. So right click, quick actions and refactorings. So it does this, and then it gives me a suggestion here. It says, well, it's hard to read this. I suppose I could preview the change. Let's preview the changes. And what it does is it's going to replace all this code here with this thing called new method. And then down below, it's going to throw in new method, and it's going to put it down here somewhere. Yeah, it puts it down here. See, that's it right there, this new method. And do I like that? Sure. Wait. Rename new method. All right. So yeah, I don't like it. So I don't want it to be called new method. I want it to be called populate. I'm going to call it populate. P-O-P. What am I doing? Oh, shoot. Ah. Oh, no. Oh. All right. Okay, I just undid everything. Okay, let's try this again. Select this. Right-click. Refactor. Preview changes. Looks good. Apply. And now I name it repopulate. No, just populate. Populate. What's it called? List friends. LST friends. Something like that. Okay. There we go. Apply. Apply. Okay. So now I've got this populate list friends here, and it's now it's here, and so it's a void. It doesn't return anything. It's void. And so now it's down here, and now we can use it down here, right here. Yeah. Populate. Populate list friends. There. Does this thing clear it out first? Yes, it does. Okay, good. So let's try it out. I'll do this one. And this is what it looks like. And this is our thing, our file. And let's add some names. Arthur Shanhun. Okay, here's some more names. And there they are. And let's get rid of Kevin Conway. It's say he retired and moved away. So I'm going to unfriend this guy. I go like this. Okay, I can take that out of there, but now look, it's gone here. And it's gone here. See that? Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of the message box because I only had it in there for debug purposes. So now we can start this thing. And let's do friend again, friend two again. And so here we are. And we can go, let's get rid of this person, and this person, and this person. And we end up with all these people gone. You should try should always try the endpoints. So try Frank Smith. Okay, deleted it, fine here. Deleted it, fine here. Try the last one. Okay, so it works good. All right. Any questions? Now, it's 11:34. Let me just quickly, we did not really spend a lot of time, you know, on all the different ways that you can make these methods. Here we just made one method. It's a void method, which means it doesn't return anything, and also it doesn't take in any parameters. It doesn't take in any parameters. So this on the method side, you call the things up here parameters. On the calling side, like here we're calling this thing here. We are calling a method named show in the message box class definition, which is probably part of which we probably get like in here. We get it right there. Comes out of there. So this is the method, and this method has one argument. One argument that's one string. Display. Well, it's actually got more arguments if you want to put them in there. They're optional arguments, like title. I think this is. Oh, here's where I put in the buttons. Okay, anyway, we'll get to that some other time. All right, so and also, all right. First of all, just so I can show you this, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close this out, close the solution. I want to save all these things and exit. And this is it right here. I'm going to zip this up, send to compressed. So now here's my compressed, and I'm going to change it, friend file with name delete, with refactoring. Okay, so that's the last one. And I can delete, I don't need this anymore. I am going to upload this to my Dropbox just so I have it for next time. Right over there. Continue. Thank you. There it is, this one. I wanted to show you, do you remember back a long time ago when we were doing number types? Let me see, let's pull up one of these old ones here. September 11th. Name, date sounds familiar. So let me, I'm going to bring this one down and see what it was in here. Extract all. Here it is. Here it is up here. I'm going to throw this away. I'll throw this away. And I don't need this anymore because I've already saved it. Keep my desktop clean. And here's my number types. Let me open this up. You may recall, if we look at the code, okay, these are methods that we made methods because do we call them more than once? I don't even think we call them more than once. Okay. We call them down here from these event handlers. Okay, so these are the event handlers. This is when you click the first button. This is when you click the second button. When you click the third button, click the fourth button. And what these event handlers did was instead of putting the code, instead of putting the division test code in here, which is what I should have been doing. Which, you know, back then we didn't know about methods, so I shouldn't have been having you do methods right away. But you see what this is? This is the division test actually returning something. Okay, so, and this is assignment 3. Can you believe I was trying to show you this stuff back then? So this is division test 1. And look, it says private string, which means it returns a string. So it executes all this stuff. And remember, I think the way we had it originally was it displayed out of the message here, and then it didn't do anything. It doesn't need to return anything. It can just display out a message here. Oh, look, it did. It displayed that out. The very original thing that we copied this code from, it displayed it out, and it didn't return anything. It just did everything in the method, and that was fine. If we can actually go back to the assignment 3. Remember, I had that this thing in here, and we looked at this, and see, he just gave us these methods, and they're void methods. They didn't return anything. You just called them, and it executed this stuff, and it wrote some stuff out in the console. You know, the console. Yeah, you know, So it's down below, down here, whatever. And so I had to take this and I had to throw these into the event handlers. You know, so you double click on the button, and I should have just had you copy. Later on, when I kept on doing this assignment over and over again, I did that. I didn't do the methods. I just grabbed the innards of this code and copied it right into the event handler. But back then, I first had to copy this in there. First had you copied in there, and then all you did up here was when you called division test 1, you just called it, and you didn't have any of this other stuff. Yeah. So, but then I had to get fancy and have you actually return something. So, so I said, well, let's have you do everything in division test, and you don't write anything out. We'll let the caller do the writing out or not. And so you do everything, and then you just create a string variable. Actually, you don't even need to create. You can just, well, yeah, you can say return. You can say return this. You could put this in place of this if you want to. You don't need to declare a new variable. And that returns it. That makes this thing so when you call it, it's going to return a string. See, so that's why now down here, we can put it on the right side of an assignment statement. It actually produces a value, which we could then get stored into this RTN. So anyway, that was really our first. That was my attempt at your first introduction to methods. But I mean, you know, to be honest with you, to be real about this, if you go back to assignment 1, and I'm you know, I'm kind of beating this point to death, but let's see, did I put anything in my Dropbox first? What's the first assignment? I guess that's the first assignment I put in my Dropbox. But from the very beginning, we use methods because an event handler is a method. I mean, it's got parameters and arguments and all that, but it's just that we don't talk about it. We're, you know, it's like I'm asking you to, you know, I'm asking you to ignore that for until chapter 6. So anyway, so that's all I have today. Are there any questions? So next time we'll start. We'll go into chapter 7, and I'm not sure what that is, but anyway. So I guess I'll end the meeting. Thanks for watching.